HB 265 ServSafe exam questions. Where should a food handler wash his or her hands after prepping food? A. Food prep sink. B. Designated sink for hand washing. C. Utility sink. D. 3-compartment sink. B. What is the minimum internal cooking temperature for a veal chop? A. 135 degrees Fahrenheit. B. 155 degrees Fahrenheit. C. 145 degrees Fahrenheit. D. 165 degrees Fahrenheit. C. What rule for serving bread should food handlers practice? A. Do not reserve uneaten bread. B. Clean and sanitize bread baskets between each customer. C. Reheat uneaten bread before serving to other customers. A. What rule for serving condiments should be practiced? A. Combine bowls of leftover condiments with fresh ones. B. Serve condiments in antimicrobial containers. C. Serve condiments in original containers. D. Serve bottle condiments that remain open between uses. D. What information must be included on the label of food packaged on-site for retail sale? A. Storage guidelines. B. Serving size. C. Pack date. D. List of ingredients. D. Nursing home cafeteria staff are creating new menu items for a breakfast for residents and their family members. What item is not safe to serve? A. Mayonnaise. B. Soft-boiled eggs. C. Pancakes. D. Corned beef hash. B. What information must be posted on a dishwasher? A. Recommended sanitizing amounts. B. Schedule for cleaning. C. Manufacturer phone number. D. Correct settings. D. A food handler has just finished storing a dry food delivery. Which step was done correctly? A. Stored food away from the wall. B. Stored food in an empty chemical container. C. Stored food underneath a stairwell. D. Stored food 4 inches off the floor. A. How should staff make sure the chemical sanitizer being used on a food prep surface is at the correct strength? A. Use a test kit to check the sanitizer's concentration when mixing it. B. Rinse it from the surface and then apply it a second time. C. Heat it to the temperature recommended by the manufacturer. D. Test the surface first to confirm that there are no pathogens. A. Which responsibility is included in the Food and Drug Administration's role? A. Inspecting meat, poultry, and eggs. B. Regulating food transported across state lines. C. Approving HACCP plans. D. Issuing licenses and permits. B. Regulating food transported across state lines. Ready-to-eat TCS food prepped in-house must be date-marked if it is held for more than how many hours? A. 72 hours. B. 48 hours. C. 12 hours. D. 24 hours. D. What practice is useful for preventing norovirus from causing foodborne illness? A. Excluding staff with vomiting from the operation. B. Encouraging staff to get flu shots. C. Cooking food to minimum internal temperature. D. Cooling food rapidly. A. Why are people who take certain medications at risk for foodborne illness? A. They have hidden allergies. B. They only eat TCS food. C. Their immune systems are compromised. D. They have not built up strong immune systems. C. What is the purpose of hand antiseptic? A. Eliminate the need for use of gloves. B. Increase the use of sanitizing solutions. C. Lower the number of pathogens on the skin. D. Eliminate the need for hand washing. C. What should staff do when receiving a delivery of food and supplies? A. Store it immediately and inspect it later. B. Visually inspect all food items. C. Stack the delivery neatly and inspect it within 12 hours. D. Inspect non-food items first. B. The temperature of duck breast is checked during cooking. According to the operations policy, the duck breast must be cooked for 16 minutes to allow the internal temperature to reach 165 F. What HACCP principle is addressed by cooking the duck breast to 165 F? A. Verification. B. Hazard analysis. C. Critical limit. D. Monitoring. C. How many hours can cold food be held without refrigeration before it must be sold, served, or thrown out? A. 8 hours. B. 2 hours. C. 4 hours. D. 6 hours. D. What should be done with food that has been handled by a food handler who has been restricted or excluded from the operation due to illness? A. Heat the food to destroy pathogens. B. Recondition the food. C. Make sure food has not been time temperature abused. D. Throw it out. Throw it out. When should a food handler with a sore throat and fever be excluded from the operation? A. Before the regulatory authority is notified. B. After the food handler has a sore throat that has lasted for after the food handler has a sore throat that has lasted for more than 5 days. C. When the food handler's fever is over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. D. When the customers served are primarily a high-risk population. D. Lasagna was removed from hot holding for service at 11 a.m. By what time must it be served or thrown out? A. 3 p.m. B. 12 p.m. C. 4 p.m. D. 2 p.m. A. In a self-service area, bulk unpackaged food does not need a label if the product A. makes a claim about health or nutrient content. B. Has been prepared at a vendor's processing plant. C. Has been prepared at an unregulated processing plant. D. Does not make a claim about health or nutrient content. D. A food handler has cooled a container of chili to 70 F in 1 hour. How much time is left to cool the chili to 41 F? A. 2 hours. B. 5 hours. C. 3 hours. D. 4 hours. B. What scenario can lead to pest infestation? A. Storing recyclables in paper bags. B. Installing air curtains above doors. C. Rotating products using the FIFO method. D. Cleaning up spills around garbage containers. A. Which of these food processes does not require a variance from a regulatory authority? A. Curing food. B. Buying bean sprouts from a reputable supplier. C. Smoking food as a method to preserve it. D. Pasteurizing juice on site. B. What temperature must cooked vegetables reach to be safely hot held for service? A. 135 F. B. 145 F. C. 155 F. D. 165 F. 135. What should a food handler do with food after it is thawed in the microwave? A. Cook it using conventional cooking equipment. B. Cover the food to prevent it from drying out. C. Check the temperature in at least 2 places. D. Let the food stand for 2 minutes before cooking. A. Bulk unpackaged food in self-service areas must be labeled when A. The food is prepared on the premises. B. The food is prepared by another manufacturer. C. The food supports pathogen growth. D. The manufacturer claims the food is healthy. D. The manufacturer claims the food is healthy. Which item should be rejected? A. Bottled milk at 41 degrees Fahrenheit. B. Live oysters at 50 degrees Fahrenheit. C. Shell eggs at an air temperature of 45 degrees Fahrenheit. D. Bags of organic cookies in torn packaging. D. Why should food temperatures be taken in 2 different locations? A. To ensure the thermometer is accurate to +/-2 degrees F or +/-1 degree C. B. Temperature may vary in the food. C. It is required by the manufacturer. D. To ensure the thermometer is calibrated correctly. B. Which process requires a variance from the regulatory authority? A. Service wild game. B. Serving imported cheese. C. Sprouting seeds or beans. D. Smoking food to enhance flavor. C. The temperature of clam chowder is checked during holding. According to the operations policy, the chowder must be thrown out. What HACCP principle is being practiced by throwing out the soup? A. Hazard analysis. B. Monitoring. C. Corrective action. D. C. What organization requires a material safety data sheet, MSDS, to be included with hazardous chemicals? A. Occupational Safety and Health Administration. B. National Restaurant Association. C. Environmental Protection Agency. D. People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. A. What factors influence the effectiveness of a chemical sanitizer? A. Concentration, absorbency, moisture, alkalinity, salinity. B. Concentration, protein, acidity, air temperature, strength. C. Concentration, temperature, contact time, pH, and water hardness. D. Concentration, water activity, reactivity, pressure, density. C. When can raw, unpackaged meat be offered for self-service? A. When the meat is high quality. B. At Mongolian barbecue. C. When the meat is frozen. D. At organic food stands. B. What temperature must a high-temperature dishwasher's final sanitizing rinse be? A. At least 170 F. B. At least 160 F. C. At least 180 F. D. At least 150 F. C. What is the first step in developing a HACCP plan? A. Conduct a hazard analysis. B. Establish monitoring procedures. C. Identify corrective actions. D. Determine critical control points. A. Conduct a hazard analysis. What is a cross-connection? A. Water transport vehicle. B. Approved public water main. C. Physical link between safe water and dirty water. D. Backflow of clean water into dirty water. C. What is the first step of cleaning and sanitizing stationary equipment? A. Spray the surface with cleanser. B. Wash the equipment surface using hot water. C. Take off removable parts. D. Unplug the unit. D. What must a food handler with an infected hand wound do to work safely with food? A. Place a bandage on the wound. B. Apply hand sanitizer to the wound. C. Cover the wound with an impermeable cover and wear a single-use glove. D. Avoid working with raw food until the wound is completely dry. C. What should a server do when taking a food order from customers who have concerns about food allergies? A. When customers arrive, tell them the food may cause allergic reactions. B. Tell customers with food allergies they will not be able to receive service. C. Describe each menu item to customers who ask, including any secret ingredients. D. Explain the symptoms of an allergic reaction to customers before they order. C. What must an operation do before packaging fresh juice on-site for later sale? A. Freeze the juice. B. Hold product at 41 F or lower. C. Obtain a variance. D. Contact OSHA. C. What information must be included on the label of a container of ready-to-eat TCS food prepped on-site for retail sale? A. Storage requirements. B. Quality of the food. C. Reheating instructions. D. Potential allergens. D. What should be done with preset, unwrapped utensils that appear to be unused after guests have left the table? A. Leave the utensils for the next guest. B. Clean and sanitize the utensils. C. Wipe off the utensils and reuse. D. Wrap the utensils with clean napkin. B.